of the law school. Along with me today in the evening, I have Ishan, who works with me in the undergraduate department. And along with that, I have Devika, who's in charge of the BA Criminology and Criminal Justice program, the program that we are going to be talking about today, essentially. So it's basically a very, very short interaction that I'll have with you, because we will be primarily talking about the BA CCJ program, which obviously is not very popularly heard of amongst the students, and obviously many students are thinking it to be a consolation prize when it has been awarded to them as an offer for admission if they have not been able to clear the cutoff of the 5-year law program. So let me just clarify that getting any undergraduate law degree from any place in the country will not really make a difference, because any undergraduate degree is not sufficient for you to get a good placement or a good job. So most of the students, they basically choose to go for eco honors or maybe a BCom honors or maybe a BBA from a reputed college of Delhi University, understandably because they probably want to go for an MBA at a later stage of their life. But when you talk about these conventional career options, law is a very, very different career option in those regards. Because particularly when you talk about law in itself is a 5-year law degree. So ultimately, if a student wants to get an undergraduate degree in law, there is no proper degree which is available in any of the colleges of the country. Jindal Global Law School has introduced 2 programs, one being BA Legal Studies and the other BA Criminology and Criminal Justice program, which basically provides you a very, very strong undergraduate degree in the BA program, and that too in a particular domain of law. So if any student who's not got into the 5-year law program or is not very clear about which college to join, or probably planning to drop an year for a 5-year law institute or maybe for a 5-year law course from any particular college of the country, for them, the ideal choice is to not waste an year and secure admission at an undergraduate course, which gives them at least a fair amount of idea that what exactly law is. So essentially, I'll take you through to the program, which is BA Criminology and Criminal Justice. Now, particularly, you would have seen that any degree or any course that you go in for in the country is going to be a very, very generic course at an undergraduate level. There are very few colleges which are actually offering you a specialization at an undergraduate level, and that too in the discipline of law. This course was introduced by us last year, and this program, BA Criminology and Criminal Justice, is a very, very popular and a very, very unique program that we have designed in the area of law only. Now, when I talk about criminology, criminology in itself is a particular branch of law which will be taught to you as a full course when you're studying the 5-year law program. But essentially, criminology is a huge domain which basically consists of various branches known as criminology, criminal psychology, human psychology, victimology, penology, forensic sciences, advanced forensic sciences. More importantly, if you look at the curriculum of the criminology program in detail, we have just not limited it to psychology and criminal psychology. We have got the fundamentals of criminal law that we'll be teaching you. We'll be teaching you about the sociology of crimes. We'll be teaching you about the criminal and evidentiary procedures. We'll be teaching you about criminal research. We'll be teaching you about advanced victimology. We'll be teaching you about white collar crimes. We'll be teaching you about juvenile justice system in India. We will be teaching you about applied criminology, and we will be also offering you electives in the area of criminology. More importantly, 2 very, very important courses have been introduced in the criminology program. One is known as crime prevention, and the other is known as pedagogy of police governance in India. So if you look at it as a program, any student who aspires to be a judicial aspirant or wants to get into judiciary, or maybe even write the civil services examination and want to become an IAS officer, or probably aims to be a part of the administrative governance or maybe a part of the administrative system, the subjects or the subject areas that are going to be taught to you in the criminology program are going to be very, very beneficial for you in the overall development of your character for you to become a civil servant, or more importantly, as a judge. Because these are the major areas that you will be questioned or which you will be actually solving in your day-to-day life when you become an IAS, a civil service aspirant, or for that matter, even a judge. More importantly, if we talk about the criminology program, it is basically a specialization at an undergraduate level. Unlike any other programs, we have not made it a 4-year program as per the new education policy. It still remains to be a 3-year undergraduate specialization program. And more importantly, I don't recommend this program for anyone who just wants to have a undergraduate degree. This is a program for those students who really want to study something different, who really want to build something out of the undergraduate degree. This program does not only offer you a pathway to the 3-year LLB program in law, which is offered by us. So ultimately, if you get selected in the BA Criminology and Criminal Justice program, after completing 3 years, we give you an automatic upgrade to our 3-year LLB course. But that's not the only aspiration to join the criminology program. Why? Because after studying criminology at an undergraduate level, there are multiple career avenues that are awaiting for you. The first and foremost thing is that even after completing 3 years, it is said to be a complete degree whereby you can explore option of getting into the field of investigative journalism, exploring career options in the field of CBI and CID, more importantly, looking at the field of detective agencies, or apart from that, you can even get into the field of forensic sciences or police administration. Most importantly, if you look at forensic sciences, the basic criteria for going into the field of forensic sciences is that you really need to have a law degree. Somebody who has absolute inclination towards forensic sciences or CBI, CID should actually opt for going to other institutes for their master's degree program after completing their 3 years graduation. For example, you can choose to go to National Institute of Forensic Sciences in Ahmedabad for your master's degree program. Understand that this program is a complete degree program. So ultimately, after completing 3 years, you can actually choose to study any particular branch as a full discipline in your MA or maybe an MSc degree. For example, there is a particular course in victimology, which you can actually study on a full-time basis in a university like Monash in Australia, or maybe Deakin University in Australia. So looking at the program in itself, there are certain courses which are taught to you, which have a very high relevance and which have a very, very strong foundation. And more importantly, not only for the law school, not only for JGLS, it offers you a 3+3 pathway. We also have collaboration with 2 international institutions, one being Federation Institute and Federation University, and the other being Bond University, where you can actually opt to go for your JD program after completing 3 years in India. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that if you're looking for an undergraduate degree that offers you a strong curriculum, that offers you a strong foundation, and that also offers you a pathway not just in the field of law, but into diversified career options also, criminology is your go-to program. So basically, when I talk to students these days and when I counsel students personally who are coming to visit us, most of the students believe that criminology is only a field which is only meant for students who have already studied psychology. It has got nothing to do with that. So it is basically an area for any student who wants to study a different subject altogether. It's basically an area for the students who basically intend to study a specialization degree at an undergraduate level and probably wants to explore more career opportunities for them, not just sticking to law as a whole on the career front. And particularly, if you look at career options in the field of CBI, CID, therefore, it's a very, very relevant program if you're looking at investigation side or if you're looking at getting into the field of CBI and CID. It's basically a branch of knowledge. It's an essential component of the criminal justice system. More importantly, the methods, styles, and approach that is going to be taught to you, it's going to be called a super specialization, particularly, which has to be built on certain foundations. For example, it includes the understanding of criminal justice system, elementary knowledge of criminal law, and appreciation of the rule of law. Although, built on these foundations, criminology is basically a very, very unique discipline. It is not just related to psychology or clinical psychology or something related to that. It is basically a field which will also be training you on natural sciences, more importantly, to understand that how this course should contain areas of study which are not just beyond your practical knowledge, but also theoretical deliberations and the nature of crime, relation to the social environment, and the constitution of criminal law, etc. And more importantly, if you study this program, we also offer you a guaranteed internship route map in which you will be given in the first year research internships. You'll be given internships to Crime Records Bureau. You'll be given internships to think tanks. You'll be given internships to law offices, and you'll be given internships even to criminal courts. The basic idea of the first year internship is that you understand the procedure and processes in the criminal justice system, and you understand the nature and extent in which crimes are committed in a state and in a country. The second year internships will be basically given to you in psychological clinics, in police stations, in prisons, in crime as a crime counselors, and maybe in forensic laboratories. And the idea of the second year internships is that you gain a skill in crime counseling. You understand the penal system in India. Penal system in India basically means the punishment that is being awarded to any criminal, that is the on the basis of the Indian Penal Code. You understand the regimes and restoration of victims and the reformation of offenders, and you analyze the evidences in the laboratories and their conditioning. And the third year internships are going to be all the more rigorous, and they're going to be all the more better. It's going to be probably in the investigation bureaus like CBIs and CIDs, and probably with the private detectives, or probably with police academies, or maybe with forensic laboratories again. So basically, you learn criminal investigations, you learn crime counseling, you understand the governance and administration of criminal and penal systems in India. And apart from that, you also learn how to assist in the forensic procedures. So basically, it's a degree which will offer you much beyond the scope of law. It will offer you not only a specialization, but also it will offer you an overall branch or an overall subject area knowledge, which is much beyond a particular course that you'll be studying in law. Most of the students, they generally confuse it with the fact they think that when I'm going to be in law, I'm going to be studying criminology, and I think that will be sufficient. You'll be studying criminology particularly in one semester maybe, and that one semester course will not even include the entire branch of penology, forensics, or victimology for that matter. It is going to be a mere introduction to criminology that will be given to you, and that will be more of psychological criminology which will be taught to you. Here, it is more of practical and theoretical criminology which will be taught to you. And more importantly, this program in itself is recognized. It is a specialization degree at an undergraduate level in a particular domain of law. And more importantly, in the coming years, we are going to have all the more collaborations with international institutions. Right now, we already have existing 2 collaborations with Bond and Federation. In the coming years, we are going to increase more collaborations so that this particular program in criminology and criminal justice is actually going to offer you much more pathways. And even after 3 years, completing 3 years in the criminology program, anybody who believes that this is the ideal program for you, if you want to get into the program, you can also complete your law degree along with criminology in just 5 years. Yes, you heard it right. After completing the criminology program, you can complete your law degree in just a span of 5 years, and it's a very simple way how you can achieve it. So basically what happens is when you join the BA Criminology and Criminal Justice program, after completing 3 years, we give the students a right to choose that whether they want to continue the 3-year LLB with Jindal or not. Most of the students, they choose to stay with us, and when they choose to stay with us, we upgrade them to the 3-year LLB program. Once they are upgraded to the 3-year LLB program, the process is very simple. In the very first year, the academic committee reaches out to the students, asking them that if they want to go for a 2+1 LLM pathway program, which is offered in our 3-year LLB course. The students who choose to go for a 2+1 pathway LLB program, or a pathway LLM program for that matter, with JGLS, they are screened in the second year, and we try and complete your law degree, which is going to be offered in 3 years in just a 2 years time. So basically, in 5 years, you get a LLB degree. In 3 years, you get a BA Criminology degree. And in the final year of your 3-year LLB degree, you would be pursuing your LLM from any of our partner institutions, which could be either King's College London, which could be the Nottingham University, which could be either Seattle University, which could be Indiana Law School, or which could be either Fletcher Law School, Tufts University. So basically, there are multiple options which are available to you to go for the LLM in the 3-year LLB pathway. There are 20+ collaborations with approximately one of the best institutes which are offering you LLM degree in India with a great specialization. So anybody who has an aspiration of studying a 3-year LLB at Jindal only after completing their BA Criminology program can go in for a 2+1 pathway to LLM program in their 3-year LLB course. And trust me, guys, it is very aspirational and it is very competitive as well. So ultimately, you have to have very high academic grades. throughout your criminology program, you have to maintain a good CGPA. You have to understand that you do good internships and you obtain the maximum possible potential of the course and obtain the maximum possible knowledge, so that in the long run, you're able to justify your undergraduate degree to the panel who's actually going to be interviewing you. If you talk about career opportunities only after pursuing the 3-year criminology program, there are many internships which will be offered to you. You can actually work as a researcher. You can actually work as a client, a criminal counselor. You can actually work in the field of forensic sciences. You can actually work in the field of investigative journalism. You can actually work as a investigator, or you can actually work as a private detective, or you can even work in the field of detective agencies. So ultimately, even at an undergraduate level, the criminology program provides you multiple career options, which are obviously far better and beyond any other undergraduate degree that you'll pursue in India. More importantly, for the undergraduate degree, for the course, for the BA Honors in Criminology and Criminal Justice program, we have hired the ex-CBI director, Professor Dr. R.K. Raghavan, who's going to be teaching you one full course in the BA Criminology and Criminal Justice program. Coming to the admission process of the program, it's very, very simple. If you have a valid LSAT score, if you have a valid CLAT score, if you don't have any of these two scores, we have our own internal examination, which is known as JSAT, which is General Scholastic Aptitude Test. So basically, if you are writing the JSAT law examination, you can actually appear for that. And on the basis of that, we will give you an admission in the BA Criminology and Criminal Justice program. Yesterday was the last day for the admission to close in the BA Criminology and Criminal Justice program. And I'm very, very happy to announce and tell everyone that we have closed the first section of the BA Honors Criminology and Criminal Justice program with the student base of 45 plus. And we are closing that section now. And we have opened the process of admission for the second section, in which we have already admitted, because the target for one section in criminology program, because we wanted to make it more extensive, and we wanted to make it more exclusive for the students. So therefore, we only wanted 45 students in a class. We have already closed on one section. In the second section also, there are very few seats which are left. So any student who's interested in enrolling for the program, we are giving another week's extension to close the criminology program. For the next week, we'll be only admitting 2 sections in the program. So basically, if you have a valid LSAT score, if you have a valid CLAT score, or if you have a JSAT score, please get in touch with my team, or me, or Devika Rana, or maybe Ishan, right? They will all share their numbers, and basically they will get in touch with you. Also, they will share the numbers right now. My humble request is, if you are really keen on to joining the BA Criminology program, please share your scorecards along with your mail ID, along with your numbers. Any student who's basically given the Lsat-India examination and has not received the offer for the BA Criminology program can actually get in touch with Devika or Ishan maybe, or even me for that matter. Ishan, can you please share my number as well? And we will send the offer to you. Any student who's already got the offer and the deadline for the admission has already crossed, because it was 30th of July, any student who's still willing to take admission can take admission from the same offer of admission and can pay the admission fees through the same link. Understand that this is one program which will offer you exclusive career opportunities. It is not just any degree. It's basically a specialization course which is going to offer you more than what you think from an undergraduate degree, and that too with a specialization. So now I will like to ask I'd like to open for questions. If anybody has any questions, I'd love to answer them individually. So you can type your questions immediately, and I'd love to answer each and every one of them. I think one question might be relevant for many. So anybody who has a question can please ask me immediately. I'm also sharing my number in the chat. You can WhatsApp me if you need any help. There are no questions. I think I explained the criminology program to you really well. Okay, so we have a question. Yes, Shreya, 24th is the date for coming to the university for 5-year law program and the undergraduate degree program. Yes, any other questions, please? Great, we are getting questions. So the girl is to boy ratio generally in JGLS is 50-50%. This year, the admitted amongst the admitted students, you will basically see that the girls ratio is slightly higher. It is around 52%, and the boys ratio is around 48%. Can you give a comparison between BA Legal Studies and BA Criminology? Not really. We really don't, Shreya, we cannot really compare between both these courses. Why? Because if you see, BA Legal is a degree which is very generic, and BA Criminology happens to be a specialization. So BA Criminology basically is for those students who genuinely will like to study a different discipline altogether at an undergraduate level. It's based who basically want to try an exciting course whereby there can be a new learning which will not be like any other discipline at an undergraduate level. On the other hand, BA Legal is basically a foundation course to your 3-year LLB program. So you'll be studying those subjects which you will be basically studying in the BA Legal which will be studying in the 3-year LLB program. But BA Legal Studies does not essentially make you a lawyer, right? For a law degree, you still have to go in for a 3-year LLB. But if you talk about criminology degree is basically a specialization degree. So anybody who has an inclination or who wants to try a different program, wants to study new subjects, or wants to gain a specialization at an undergraduate level, because you understand that the times are changing very fast, and a good degree would be where in a competitive environment, always an undergraduate degree, which the specialization will be preferred over a generic degree. So therefore, both the programs are equally good according to me, but it's upon the students to decide and choose that which is the program which they really are interested in. We have a question regarding exchange programs in BA Criminology. A very good question, Aditi. So we have all the exchange programs which are valid, which are there for the law school, are valid even for the BA Criminology program. So basically, there are summer school programs which are there in the BA Criminology program. So basically, in the summer school, you will be able to go for 14 days, 21 days, which is also known as short-term study abroad program. You can actually opt for that, and in 14 or 21 days, you can actually go to an international institution and maybe we do a short-term study abroad program. Apart from that, there are international opportunities like a 2+1 pathway that I talked about. More importantly, we are also exploring our collaboration with Deakin and Monash for the MSc Criminology program, which is going to be done very, very soon. By the time you graduate, by the time you are probably in your second year or maybe even in the first year, this program will be done and this will be very much in place. So there are all the collaborations which are done. As far as co-curriculars are concerned, as a law school student, you are able to access everything. You will be able to participate in each and everything like MUNs and all the other things that are happening, except for the moot courts. Because if you want to participate in the moot courts, the only criteria is that you have to be a 5-year law student or maybe a 3-year law student. But there are pre-moots which are available for BA Law, BA Legal, Studies and BA Criminology students. So pre-moots induction will be there for the students of both the BA degree programs. Then I have a question, sir, for 3-year LLB, after that we have a 2+1 LLB or 3-year LLB will include LLM. So 2+1 basically means that it is a 2-year LLB that you will complete and 1 year in LLM. So basically in 3 years, you also complete your LLB plus LLM from an international university. So giving the example, if you decide to complete your LLM from Seattle, Seattle always is also giving you a 50% scholarship if you're a general graduate. So basically, when I talk about the timeline, it works like that in 6 years, you have a BA Criminology degree. In 2 years, you have an LLB degree. And in 1 year, you also have an LLM with specialization. So basically, in 6 years, you get 3 degrees, which is basically the normal pathway even for a 5-year law student. Even after completing 5 years, they'll spend 1 additional year in completing the LLM. So it takes 6 years to them also. Sir, will BA LLB students will be preferred more than LLB? No, not at all. So this is a very, very good question that somebody has asked. Will BA LLB students be more preferred LLB students in jobs in the long run? Not really, not at all. So basically, when we talk about JGLS particularly, We introduced the 3-year LLB and 5-year law simultaneously. See, any law firm or any corporate or any MNC does not really care about the fact that whether you are a 3-year LLB student or whether you are a 5-year law student. What they really care about is which institution you are from and what are your academic credentials like. And are you fit to work with them or not? And how good are you with your subject area or knowledge, or how much in-depth knowledge of you have of your subject? So basically, in Jindal only, if I talk about 44 graduates getting a job in Cyril Amarchand Mangal Das, or let's say if I talk about 50 people getting placed in a particular law firm, there is a very, very decent ratio that is maintained between 3-year LLB and even 5-year law students. So technically, for us, there is no difference. All are law graduates, and we don't really have a difference between both the programs. Yes, 3-year law program, we really get very mature students from varied fields. We get engineering graduates, we get medical graduates. We'll be having students from our BA Legal Studies program being upgraded. We have students from our criminology program being upgraded. So technically, if you look at the class, it's a very, very diversified class, and the learning opportunities are going to be far more better than a 5-year law program. Is there any subjects in which I can do BA and then pursue for LLB? I told you, so there are two options available to you, which is one is BA Legal Studies and the other is BA Criminology program, in which you can actually look for as a scope to pursue your 3-year LLB. So if you're looking at pursuing a 3-year LLB program, then both these programs are equally good for you. Again, the only difference is between a specialization and a generic degree. And about the internship route map, because we have made a mandatory internship curriculum. In every year, we are providing you mandatory internships, as I already highlighted, in forensic laboratories, along with detective agencies, or maybe in police academies. So we are actually offering you mandatory internship in the program. So that's the main distinction point. What documents are required when you're sub? So you'll get a list of documents that are required to be brought with you when you're coming to the campus. I just wanted to know how many of you have already taken admission in the criminology program who are there in the session today. Okay. 6, 7. So that's 7 of them, right? All right. So great choice, guys. If you have any doubts, if you have any questions, if you have any queries, please reach out to me or Ishan or Devika. I think Devika has also shared her number. So if you are interested in taking admission in the program, we have extended the deadline for another week, right? And in this 1 week time, you have to close your admissions so that you are ready to join the campus by 24th. And I wish you all a very good night and thank you for joining. I hope I was of some help in giving you information about the BA Criminology program. Thank you so much, guys, and have a very good night. Please reach out to me or any of my colleagues on the numbers that are given in the chat. I hope everyone is able to see the chat. If you're able to see the chat, please raise your hands. Great. So my number is given, my mail ID is given, Ishan's number is given, Devika's number is given. Please reach out to us for the BA Criminology program. We'll be happy to help. Thank you so much, guys. It was a pleasure talking to you all. Bye.
For your valuable time. Thank you, sir.
And thank you, Devika and Ishan.
Thank you, sir.